Side 2 begins with what could be considered the title track, I Can't Dance. A bluesy rock tune with a sense of minimalism to it, this song is also a bit of a his take, not unlike Jesus He Knows Me. This time though, it focuses on models and divas who would appear on TV and adverts to sell fancy jeans, t-shirts and other sorts of things. Kind of like how nowadays people would sell fragrances and perfumes and all, and even like snacks and foods and all kinds of products. And of course, all the quirky dramas that may ensue. And while such may be considered good looking and attractive, but in actuality they're also very potentially not so bright, how they can't dance, sing, or talk. So basically, this song is literally about talentless celebrities and sellouts, basically. It could also be seen as a kind of commentary on the changing music industry at the time, especially with MTV. How some would care more about having attractive, good looking performers than actually caring about good songwriting. There's even a bit of a shout out to the previous Genesis song, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, with the lyric, The only thing about me is the way I walk, which calls back to the lyric from the wardrobe song as, me, I'm just a lawnmower. You can tell me by the way I walk. So basically, it could be seen as a spiritual successor of sorts, or maybe kind of an idea of what might have happened to that man who dreamed about being a lawnmower and what happened to him in the coming years of his life. And much like Jesus He Knows Me, this too has a very funny, and very all-around charming little video that kind of visualizes the themes here, with Phil kind of playing this kind of down on his luck model who's has all this thrown at him, kind of all the little dogs kind of fighting over the trousers on the beach, all trying to hitchhike only to have the lady just pick up like an iguana instead, and some bloke in a bar just kind of take away his trousers while playing a bit of pool. And I gotta say, the amount of faces Phil makes in that video alone are just worth making like meme gifs out of. It is that fun and funny. Next is Never a Time, another soft poppy rock love ballad similar to In Too Deep and Throwing It All Away and Follow You, Follow Me. This time we're on dealing with what seems to be a strange relationship on the brink of breakup. In here, Phil expresses how they never seem to have the time and chance to truly express how they feel, or hoping for some understanding, but facing the inevitable that this once strong love has, in a way, gone. Sure, this isn't exactly supper's ready or lambs lies down, but does it really have to be? It's a very quite it's quite chill and relaxing, but at the same time also very bittersweet, especially considering not only the soothing music but also the the lyrics themselves. It's a kind of song that you'd listen to while kicking back and sitting outside and watching the slow sunset sinking into the horizon. The guitars, the keyboards, and the percussion, they all come together to offer this warm, simple, calm, and comforting welcome, especially after the rather more either dramatic or humorous songs that came before, and those that will eventually come across the rest of the album. Side 2 ends with Dreaming While You Sleep, a much darker song both lyrically and musically, not unlike, say, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. This one is about a man who struggles to keep awake while driving in the middle of night and rain, but he accidentally runs over a woman and flees the scene, hoping to ignore it. But somehow the shock and shame trauma sticks to him unknowingly, not helped by the next morning when he hears about it on TV and the radio, and gradually starts to feel complete and utter guilt about it, falling into this eternal conflict about wanting to confess so badly about what he had done, but fearing that he would be seen as nothing more than a criminal and a bad person, even if he does express shame at it, and knowing that he didn't mean to murder her, and just hoping that she's just in a coma and that she'll open her eyes one day, and believing that that guilt would kind of go away along with it. But and he's at the same time she's hoping that while she sleeps she's still kind of dreaming, so she's not entirely completely dead, but at least comatose. But no, fearing that he may be in her memory, as in she might identify him or recognize him to some capacity. So he still lives with that trauma, that utter shock that he can't kind of come back on. The music itself really helps with that kind of mood. The synth guitars really complement it. And the opening drums also have this kind of pseudo Afro vibe to it, much like Droned and Hand in Hand from Phil Collins' new album, and even maybe something that Pierre Gabriel would do. So, yeah, all this lyrics about hit and run and the struggles and conflict that result from that, it almost sounds like the premise of a psychological thriller. And honestly, I love it for that, not for that alone. The ambiguity of it, especially how it ends, it just feels reaches in deep, and you feel that terror, you feel that struggle that the song kind of conveys. And Phil also expresses that with his vocals, especially when he sings about how all his life this will be stuck with him forever. He is trapped in this guilt, this memory, and this struggle between whether or not he should keep this secret to his grave, or just flat out come out and say, "Hey, I'm the one who ran her over, but I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I couldn't see her. How could I know?" And boy, it just leaves me at a loss of words. It's probably one of my favorite Genesis songs from the Phil Collins era. And it kind of surprises me that this isn't talked about as much. But when it is, people still actually like this. And I agree with those people. It's another proof that Genesis have never really abandoned their prog style. They just kind of evolve with it. This proves that he could still tackle both dramatic and humorous themes. And I think that kind of helps sum up what this album is as a whole. It tackles both the light and the dark of many of the themes of the time.